throughout your stay in Cameroon for more than 72 hours, you have constantly used the expression or the word transformation. We need to transform the African economy. This is a word which is recurrent in nearly all Africa Economic Report compiled by your organization. What are you meaning when you say transformation? What do we need to transform, and why should we transform the African economy?
Because, we have been under development for the last 50 years. And take an example from agriculture, where I just produced the numbers. We have 20 years of investment in agriculture from development aid.
How much cash was injected?
About $15 billion were injected in the African agriculture. The productivity remained stuck in 1.5 tons per hectare during the 20 years. So all that investment didn't change one comma in terms of the productivity of African agriculture. Why? Because we have been treating it as if it was just a poverty reduction program, as just a food security issue, when in fact it's an economic activity. In any other part of the world, if you treat agriculture as an economic activity, you are going to create the policy incentives that are going to allow for productivity to be gained. That is what transformation is about. But for us, the most important anchor of transformation is really the change of the composition of our economies. And for that, we need to put a lot of emphasis on industry. Why? Because if you look into the demographics of Africa, the population growth and the urbanization, and the fact that most of our population is going to be young, better educated, more connected, and of course more urbanized than their predecessors. What do you expect these people to want? And why do you see all this restless attitude on the part of the youth? They want modern jobs. And these modern jobs are not going to be possible to create without industrialization. That's what other regions of the world did, and that's what we have to do as well.
You are talking about young people. Before coming to Cameroon, you were in India, specifically on the 7th of February to attend a conference on sustainable development. Let me quote your words. By 2050, Africa's youth alone will constitute over a quarter of the world's labor force. With a rising middle class and rapid urbanization taking place at a rate that is more than twice the world's urban growth rate of 3.7% a year, unavoidably, demand for food, energy, and water will rise. Now, how do you balance the scale in transforming the African youths, who are going to lead the economy in terms of capacity building, human resource refashioning? How are you going to manage all of that with resources which are becoming scarce? There are so many other themes beside that: energy, water, food.
Well, first of all, by managing. That's the word. Because it is true, let's take food. We have 60% of the non-used arable land of the world. So we have to contribute to feed the world. This is not happening right now, but it will be the way of the future. If we take into account the fact that our productivity is so low, just look at the productivity of agriculture in Brazil or in China, and immediately you'll see, the vast territory that we'll still have to cover in order for us to actually produce and manage things better. Then take water. Water, we have reservoirs that are quite substantial. In fact, even aquifers that were not known before in desert areas will make clear that Africa has a potential for a better water management than we ever thought just 20 years ago. Take energy. We have the best renewable energy resources in the world. It is proven that Africa can not only put electricity across the continent, but also create the basis for its industrial revolution just with renewable energy. We don't even need to touch oil or gas or any of the fossil fuel generated energy. Take all these examples, and basically the answer is the same. Africa has the potential, but Africa has to manage. If we don't manage, others will just come and take it, as it has been done for the last 50 years, as it will be done for the remaining years ahead, if we really don't manage it. Now, our youth, that is going to be the labor force of the because it is going to be the highest concentration of labor capacity in the world, is not going to forgive us if we don't take today the measures that will put Africa in the right path. That's why we are all engaged in this construction of a vision for Africa in 50 years called the Africa Agenda 2063.